Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketurganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashanteye Yasmidvaradavaktrabhya Parishadhya Parastatam Vignam Nigdhanti Satatam Vishwaksenam Tamasriye Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Aklishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedhyaya Gurave Buddhisakshine Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Sarvabhutahite Ratam Vedabjabhakaram Bande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Sahasra Murte Purushottamasya Sahasra Netra Anana Padabaho Sahasranamam Kavanam Prachaptam Niruchyate Janma Jaradi Shantyai. Swami's grace, let us continue where we left off. We came to Adasambhe Parasiddha Siddha Sarvadirachyuta Ushakapira Mejatma Sarva Yoga Vinisrutaha. Nama Slokam number 12. Vasumana Sathya Samatma Sammitas Samaha Amogha Pundari Kaksho Vrushakarma Vrushakrutihi. Vasuhu Vasumanaha Satyaha Samatma Sammitaha Samaha Amogaha Pundari Kakshaha Vishakarma Vrushakrutihi. Vasuhu as one name for Agni also is Vasuhu. Agni is present in everyone. Another one is Vasuhu is the one who is present in everything. The interesting thing is, not only is Bhagavan present in everything, everything is present in Bhagavan also. And that aspect is called Vasuhu. One in whom everything is present, and he is present in everything also, because everything is Bhagavan only. And also is present in the form of Agni. Now, the people who are seeking Bhagavan, if I seek Swami, then he resides in me most lovingly. Immediately. You can see him. All you have to do is look to him within you. Immediately you see him. That aspect of Bhagavan is Vasuhu. Vasumanaha, Sumanaha, Vasumanaha. This is Bhagavan has a mind, and there is no hatred, there is no likes, there is no dislikes, and all these opposites that we all go through, is absolutely devoid of all that. And is a Sumanaha, the most exalted mind. That mind is actually Hiranyagarbham. It is Bhagavan's mind. That's what shines as golden with golden effulgence all around, just like the way the sun shines without any differentiation, without any like or dislike or preference, and it just continues to do its job continuously. And that's what we have to learn from the sun. It's a beautiful example of a devotee of Bhagavan, who also carries out the instruction that Bhagavan gives us how to lead our life. And sun is equally alive as you and I are. Please remember that. And as Swami says in Bhagavad Gita in Adhyayam 4, chapter verse, you can see verse 1. He taught the skill of how to lead one's life, right? The knowledge and the skill, both he taught of how to lead one's life. And first he taught that in early days, right to the sun, and the sun is without fail is following Swami's teachings. So Vasumanaha and Satyaha. Satyaha means as the one classic definition, one classic explanation that by all elders give us whenever we try to describe and explain and share the indescribable beauty and the purity and the love and the bliss and the attraction of Bhagavan. We all use limited words, and Satyam is also one of those. And the way that it is described is it does not change in the three classes of time. It remains the same, whether it's the past, present, or future. There's no change to it. It is also Purnam. It is also always full and complete. And all the things that we are discussing in Vishnu Sahasranamam is just different aspects of this Satyam. The Satyam is the same as Dharmam, is the same as Premam, same as Shanti, same as Ahimsa. All these things, they do not change in the course of time, or in the course of place, and in any way it happens, it remains exactly the same, constant. There is no increase, there is no decrease, nothing changes from that. And that is Satya. And this is the call of your conscience. And the conscience, the conscience has a language. For each one of our conscience, and there's only one conscience, even though we have so many bodies, the conscience in you and me and everybody else is exactly one and the same. And that's Hridayam, which is the seat of love, as we have discussed many times before. The call of that, the language of that is Satyam. That is Satyam. The love in speech is Satyam. And etymologically, Sat means prana. It means the annam, the food that we take. And Yam means the sun. Satyam also means one who cares for and takes care of and protects all the sadhus. The sadhus are none other than people who are on a journey to explore and experience the Satyam that is present within themselves. Then these sadhus, the Satpurusha is one who does Satkarma all the time. And Satkarma meaning good thoughts, good speech, and good deeds. One who does all the time in the company of Bhagavan is a Satpurusha. And they may have some desires, because desires have to be given up. Finally, they have to be given up. They have to be decreased and given up. But all good people, all yogis, with different stages of accomplishment and achievement, they all will still have or have residual desires from them. They have not gotten rid of all the desires yet. But so when they have desires and seek something and want something, and Satyaha is the Purushan that fulfills all their abhishtanas or their desires. Satyaha, Samatma, again, Sama Atma. And he is the one, is absolutely not only, we talked about Vasumanaha, Samatma is really beautiful. When you interchange with Bhagavan, it really does not matter whether you're a pauper or you're a wealthiest person, a scholar or a dumb person, or a poor, rich, healthy, unhealthy, man, woman, or even an animal or a plant. It really does not matter. And Bhagavan interacts and deals and talks to you and touches you and looks at you and all the things that he interacts with you exactly the same way, without the slightest difference. Because he really is impartial. If you want impartiality, it's only Bhagavan was impartial. There's no partiality at all in him, no difference at all in him. And without any like or dislike or preference or non-preference, the way that he protects us and he takes care of us and interacts and touches, allows us to touch him also, there is no difference at all, without any difference. So he is absolutely the same, Samam, Sama Atma, Samatma. Samhitaha. Now in Adi Sankara's Bhashyam, he has taken this word as asamittaha. Okay? If you look at Vasumana Sathya Samatma Sammitas Samaha, when you elongate the Samatma Sammitas, as you do like that, then you can also, the words can be broken into Samatma and Asamittaha. And if you elongate the Ma, then it becomes A. Asamittaha. And Bhattar takes it as Sammitaha. The interesting thing is, whatever word that you use, remember, it is only a description of Bhagavan and His glory and His presence, His ever present, how He is effulgent in different aspects. So Asammitaha, Sammitaha, it really does not matter. It just captures different aspects of this shining entity. So Asammitaha, first let us take that word. There are so many embodiments, infinite bodies that Bhagavan is present in. Your body, mine, the body of an animal or an ant or a plant or a stone, whatever you think of, we go on the people, we see a beggar. We see somebody who's extremely pretty, we see somebody who's not very pretty. We see somebody who's obese and fat and somebody who's well built. There are so many and constantly changing the embodiments. This Purusha, this entity is appearing to us, is not only to our eyes, but also to all the five senses we have, all the things that we hear. The words are also embodiments of Bhagavan only. And thoughts are also embodiment of Bhagavan only. So whether it's tangible or intangible, there are so many Purushartham, the embodiments of Swami. But each of these embodiments, each of these body is called a vehicle, an upadhi, and a container. The containers are innumerable, right? And not only in variety, in quantity, in shape and form, and so many ways. All these containers, they all contain the same essence, the same thing. But this thing that is contained in these various bodies, the love that is present in all these various forms, that is something that cannot be limited, that is limitless actually. It cannot be limited to the form and the shape. But what does He do? Even though He is limitless, He allows Himself to be inside a limited form and shines through it. And also for people who look to Him, who appears in His limited form, He also teaches them and shows them and gives them a glimpse and a glance of His limitlessness. The form, any form you take, you just focus on it for a second, continuously, even a piece of chalk or a pencil or pen or whatever you have in your hand, okay, or the letter on a piece of book that you got in front of you, just focus on that. That particular form, as soon as you begin to focus on it, you will see that it has a tendency to disappear and the form becomes formless. Look at your own image in the mirror when you go to the bathroom next time. Just look at your own eyes. Concentrate on your eyes. Focus on it and see what happens. It will slowly start disappearing. That you will see the disappearing, the beginning of the disappearance very easily. Now, if you focus long enough, of course, then it will disappear. So that is asamittaha. Even though contained in these various containers, He is actually limitless. Now, the other beautiful thing is, we all think that Bhagavan is residing within us, right? Look to within, then you will see Swami, He's seated on my Hridayam. But my body is such a limited container, and it is temporary, and it is so dirty all the time, right? There is nothing that is pure about the body. Here, the most sacred entity, the limitless, infinite entity, is present in my body. So, the beauty is, Bhagavan allows us. This is the phenomenal beauty of Swami. Allows us to think that is where he is, allows us to look to him within the limited container, and he manifests himself within that. So all these devotees, he does that. He shows from residing from within. And that aspect of Swami is sammitaha. So asammitaha and sammitaha. Samaha, sammitas, samaha. Samaha, as you all know, in all periods of time, all places, in all ways, he remains exactly the same. There is no change to him. Even though all the changes, the illusionary changes, there are 6 changes that happen, right? And all the changes that happen from this changeless entity, and he remains absolutely changeless, remains the same. And samaha also means one who's resident with Lakshmi. Okay. Now, Lakshmi is again not only monetary wealth, it is all the things that we have in creation. Once something is created, it has to be taken care of, right? And to be taken care of, as we say in Poshikarde, Poshanam. And that one, to take care of that also does not mean only food. Food is very important. But then there are so many other things that we need in order to live, to be sustained. And if you look at all around, all these various forms of wealth are Lakshmi. And one who is present along with this Lakshmi, that is Samaha. Another thing is, we may be a new person. We've been so involved in the worldly matters all the time. And so Bhagavan is, even though he's there in the back of our mind, we don't pay much attention to him. He's to a large degree, he's a stranger, or we are strangers to him. We are never strangers to him. He's a stranger to us. Only when the time of some trouble comes, and some difficulty comes, and some challenge comes in life, then we turn to him, right? Automatically we turn to him, because he's the one who's got the power and the authority and the ability and the desire and the wherewithal and the well-wishness to be able to solve our problems, right? He will never desert us, he will never let us down, never give us up, right? Even though we behave rudely to him, even though we behave badly to him, he is always loving. He is always, always loving. Now, then there are people who do puja, who worship, who keep the company of Bhagavan, all the time, most of the time, and always thinking of him and talking to him and all those things. So there are people who are very much devoted, very much in the path of worship and following what Swami wants you to do, you do it. Then there are people who don't do that. Both these types, whether you have been keeping the company of Bhagavan or you are not keeping the company of Bhagavan and moving, actually quite staying far away from him, regardless of that, whether you are enthusiastic in seeking his company or whether you are really not that committed, in the spiritual journey, without any difference of who you are, what you have done, how much worship you have done for me, how much company that you have kept, have you been keeping my company, none of those things, without any of those differences, he treats you, deals with you, he takes care of you exactly the same way. An amazing thing, when you interact with Bhagavan, there is a word in Sanskrit called Gauravam. Gauravam does not mean pride. It means one of respect. Okay? When somebody comes to your house, where you receive them with Gauravam, with respect you receive them, right? And that respect you see to elders and people who are really good people, there is a certain respect that wells up within you, the way that you interact with them. Bhagavan treats you exactly the same way. Tremendous respect and maryada with Gauravam that is due to you. And whether it's a beggar or whether it's the wealthiest person, it's absolutely immaterial. Whether it's a scholar, a Vedic Pandit, or a person who has not read anything. It really doesn't matter. Everyone he interacts with love only. That tremendous love that envelops and encompasses and immerses you in that. It's amazing. That aspect of Bhagavan is Samaha. Amogaha. Amogaha. Now, this, you have to pronounce this correctly. It's not Amoham. Moham is different. Moham means illusion, attachment. Amogaha. This is a Gha coming from in Sanskrit we call it the fourth Gha. We have to pronounce it from the stomach. Amogaha. Gaha. Okay? Amogaha. One whoever worships him, one who praises him, one who meditates on him, thinks of him, he grants all results to them, everything that is beneficial to them, he grants. And Amogaha also means whose promise, that Sankalpam, never changes. As Rama tells Vibhishana, not Vibhishana. Vibhishana comes for surrender. At that time, Rama tells Sugriva and everybody else, my Sankalpam is whoever takes refuge under me, seeks my refuge, seeks my protection, seeks my company, I will never, never let them down. Never. That is Bhagavan Sankalpam. You say yes to me once, you are mine forever. That is Bhagavan Sankalpam. Sathya Sankalpam, we say. That applies only to Bhagavan. Sathya Sankalpam. That means he is the truth. He also is Satya Dharma Parayanamaha, Satya Swarupayanaha. All those things we say for Bhagavan. He is a embodiment. He is a form of Satya itself. He is one. Parayana means one who is constantly involved in that. Okay, and that is so he is Amogaha, Satya Sankalpa, one who grants all beneficial things, whether asked for or unasked for. It doesn't matter whether the person desires it or does not desire it. The moment I start worshipping him, moment I start praising him, and it's how beautiful life will be if we all talk about Bhagavan and hear about Bhagavan and listen to his glory, as we were fortunate enough to do last Sunday for about 2-3 hours. We were doing only that. And that puts you in a different frame of mind, a different experience, right? And the benefit he gives you when you keep his company, and whether you ask for something or not, he gives you everything that is beneficial to you. He protects you. He takes care of you. And because he loves your company. Amogaha. And not only that, Amogaha also means, we keep so many relations, Sambandham as we call it, in Sanskrit. And so many relations we have. Bandham means relation. Sambandham means something, a good relation, beneficial relations, And we see good company, we go and talk to so many people, so many things we do keeping relations, right? It's difficult to live all alone. Okay, it's difficult, very miserable to live lonely, right? We all know that. But we seek the social friends and so many things that we have, right? We listen to Sahasranamam or Bhagavad Gita and then go and do exactly the same thing that we've been doing, right? So all the sambandhangal that we have, seeking only benefit and goodness for us, they're all temporary, they are absolutely not reliable. Over a period of time, the course of time, everything changes. The person you consider to be most reliable friend, he will desert you and go on. Not because he wants to desert you and go on, not because anything bad about him. That's how time operates. That time changes everything. There is nothing constant in time. But to keep the company of Bhagavan, Sambandham with Bhagavan, then there's not even an iota of waste in that. Not even an iota of waste. That Sambandham is Amogaha. The Bhagavan's company, even if I keep for one kshanam, and that does not go to waste at all, ever. Not only in this birth, but in any future birth that we may take. And in Yuddhakantam, in Ramayanam, and it is said Rama, to have your darshan, to have your sambhashan, to have your sparshan, to worship you, to praise you, is never go to waste. Never go to waste. If you have Bhagavan darshan, papanasanam, all the sins you have committed up to that point is all completely pulverized. It's the power of Bhagavan sambandham. And if you have one sambhashan with him, sparshan with him, my God, the benefits are innumerable. That's what it says in Uddakanta. One darshan of you, Rama, it is not wasted at all. That devotee who's devoted to you, it is impossible for them not to benefit from it, from your company. It's impossible. That is amogaha. So, Pundarikakshaha. In Hridaya Kamalam, we call it as Hridayam, Hridaya Kamalam. There is a lotus there. There is a lotus with 64,000 petals. And these Bhagavan is seated on that. And that is Pundarikakshaha. Another one is, he's got eyes like lotus flower, right? The petal of a lotus flower. How beautiful it is, broad and wide and long, and a color of a pinkish red that is so attractive, right? So that is what Bhagavan's eyes look like. Actually, if you look at Bhagavan's eyes, whether it is Rama or any avatar Purusha, you will see what is a lotus eye really mean. It's impossible to describe it. Okay, that is Pundarikakshaha. Another meaning of Pundarikakshaha in the Vaishnava tradition, they say Pundarikam means the Paramapadam. That is beyond even Vaikuntham. There is a state beyond Vaikuntham. And that is Paramapadam. There is absolutely changeless. There is only love is the only thing that exists. There is no separation. There is no difference. And that is who is that? What is that thing that is there in Paramapadam? There is only one entity there. Okay. And that is Pundarikaksham. And it is not somewhere above, it is present all around us. And we are actually immersed in that Pundarikaksham only, in all around us, within us, in me, outside of me, above me, behind me, below me, on all my sides, everywhere it is Bhagavan only. I'm immersed in him. Please understand that. So are you. So is everything else is immersed in this Paramapadam. It is not somewhere way beyond where we have to make a long journey to it. Pundarikakshaha, Vrusha Karma. Okay, we saw last class Vrusha Kapihi, right? And Vrusha Kapihi, that's the way it should be broken down. And then later on, through usage of the word, it became Vrusha Kapihi. The Vrusha, we saw that means dharmam, righteousness. How the righteousness, what is it in anything and everything we do and we exist and anything to do with us and with things around us, everything else has got a support. And that support is just not a physical support that protects us from falling due to gravity. No. It is, of course, the earth exerts gravity so we don't fall down, right? But we think beyond that. What is it that is making the earth hurtling around the sun at this tremendous speed? And the various planets and stars and all that. Everything is moving at tremendous speed. But what is it that's supporting each one? So what is the basis of support? In our own life, the support of our thought, word and speech, word and action. And what is it that is supporting us, right? Is my selfishness supporting it? No, because we never feel good, never feel stable, right? But the moment you look to that support, that is dharmam, right? And that dharmam is the one dharayati iti dharmaha. The one that is nothing but Sathya. The truth is the one that's supporting, nothing but love, right? It's not different words for the same entity. That vrusha means dharma. The thing that operates, that is the support. For anything that operates, there is a support. When you operate on the basis in alignment with that support, then you are doing the vrusha karma. You're doing the activity, the action of dharma. But how do you know what it is, Swami? I don't know what this action is because I don't know what dharma is, because I'm really embedded and immersed in my own selfishness and desires. So how do I do? To do that, there are two things. Let's take Vrishakarma and Vrishakrutihi, both, and so they've been explained, share it together, and then it becomes clear. One is the action in line with dharma. And what is dharma? Dharma is any action is love expressed in action. Love in action is dharma. Love in speech is satyam. Please remember that. But that love we are talking of is selfless love. It is beyond all the embodiments. Beyond, it is the one that attracts everybody, right? And so, since I am not selfless, how do I act on the basis of selfless love, right? So the first thing is love in action is dharma. That is Vrishakarma. Okay? Because selfless love also acts. That's how the creation took place. It acted in love and creation took place. It desired in love, so the creation took place. It protecting what it created in absolute love only. So all the actions of Bhagavan, the activity that is taking place, the sun giving us selflessly, for example, all the things that we need in order for us to live, all the Panchabhutangal acting their own duties, allotted duties, so that we all can live and enjoy the beauty of creation. That what a phenomenal beauty that creation is, right? And so all the things that's going on, there is a natural order to it, the inviolable order that is basis of everything. That is Vrishakarma. Bhagavan is doing this. Now, for me to understand that such a thing is taking place, while all the other creations of Bhagavan are all acting according to their allotted dharma, in alignment with the call of love, including animals, including lion, whatever it is, the most ferocious animal is acting according to its own dharma. We human beings are the only ones who deviate from it, who have moved away from it, and who ignore it. And I try to act in our own way. So we suffer. To show us the way that what I'm doing is not right, this is how you should conduct yourself. That's the reason you are in this world. Now I put you there for a purpose, but you are not obeying me. You are doing things in your own way and you are getting hurt in the process. Don't do that. This is how you should conduct yourself to illustrate what this actions of love is, how you should conduct yourself lovingly, how you should speak lovingly, how you should think lovingly, and without harming anyone else or without harming yourself. In any given situation, how do you speak the truth so that your conscience is always in alignment, and you are in always alignment with your conscience so that it doesn't prick you. So to illustrate to us in a way we can understand, give us an example of what of how the action of dharma is, Bhagavan takes avataranga. Then he comes and demonstrates that. That is Vrisha Krutihi. So Vrisha Karma is something is happening all the time. Everything that is happening around us, that is supporting you. Without that support, we will not exist. Whether it is my pranan, my breathing in and breathing out, everything is done according to dharma only. That is Vrisha Karma. To explain it to us that such a thing is taking place, and I must also conduct myself in alignment with this actions of dharma that is taking place all around me. I must also get in line with it and conduct myself accordingly. To show me how to do it, it's Vrisha Krutihi. The avataram comes and shows us by his word, thought and speech, Rama and Krishna, so that we can relate to them very well, right? How they conducted themselves, in spite of all the physical suffering, they never gave up the call of love. That is what we should learn from Ramayanam, from Bhagavatam and all that. Just not enough just to recite it and talk about it. Must put that, emulate the Avatara Purushan that comes and manifests its beauty to us, right? That is Vrishakritihi. Rudraha. Rudraha, two aspects. Very simply speaking, what happens, when you got a highway and when you don't take it and go on a detour and full of potholes and all that, whose fault it is? It is not the fault of the road, right? It's the choice I made. How I want to travel, how I want to lead my life. It's a choice I make. So if I make a choice and go on the road full of potholes and not properly paved and all that, my journey will be only full of difficulties, lots of jumps up and down, backaches, and so many miseries I have, right? If I take the royal road that is nicely well paved and smooth, I have no problem. My driving becomes very smooth. I don't feel tired at all. It's like that in life. Since I choose not to follow dharma, since I choose not to share the love that Bhagavan is within me and prompting me and asking me and impelling me to share the love that I am with everyone, and I choose to be selfish and self-aggrandizing all the time, then I go through miseries. I go through difficulties. And when I experience difficulties, I experience pain, suffering, I experience pain, I cry. That crying aspect, oh my God, this has happened. Why all this difficulty? Why did I lose my job? Why did that person made $1 million and I've lost my job here? These kind of thoughts that come through, in our life. Why some good things happen to others? Why I've got all this, right? All of a sudden health goes away, right? 1 minute I'm walking fine, next minute I go into a coma. So many things happen in life. Then when the difficulties happen, I cry, right? At that time, the Bhagavan is actually, the love is such that while it tells me very lovingly, look to me, be loving, when I refuse to follow what it wants me to do and when I disobey its command and when I run away from it, how can it bring me back to it? Only by telling me, hey, that you're going the wrong way. And the difficulties are the clearest indications, miseries and sufferings are the clearest indications, lessons from Swami, that I strayed away from the prescribed path. In that process, the suffering comes. I create my own suffering. That is the meaning of that, because I strayed away. But He is so kind, He is giving me a mark, an adayalam as we call it, saying, oh, I am on the wrong path. Right? This is not the way it should be. Even though I cry, I suffer in the process. He also reminds me as a lesson, that's not where it is. Then what is the next step that takes place? Because I know I'm in the wrong path, I'm tired of this suffering and I want a peace of mind, I want something really better. I know I'm doing things that are not right, so what is the right thing I should do? Immediately, He gives me a remedy also. He not only gives me pain, He also cures the pain. He also not only gives me difficulty, He also removes the difficulty. And both aspects that is happening in our life every minute. Okay, if I become hungry, He gives me hunger. So I suffer. He also gives me food and the digestive power to be able to remove my hunger. Right? Both He gives, not only the food. That if I can't digest it, it's no good. So this is the beauty of how Bhagavan is interacting with us in continuously, not just in every second, continuously at all times and all ways. Okay, and that aspect of giving pain and also removing the cause of the pain, and in that process giving us that happiness and bliss. Because without you cannot get happiness out of happiness. Impossible. So you got to have pain in order to understand what happiness is. You got to have sorrow in order to understand what happiness is. It's a beautiful play that Bhagavan is doing, interacting with us all the time, in all places. Let us enjoy Him that way. That aspect is Rudraha. Bahu Shiraha. That's the word you understand. Bahu means many. Shiraha means head. Sahasrati Risha, we say, right? Purushaha, but that's all it is. It is the mistake we make is that we limit Bhagavan to to puja room, to a picture, and then do all the good things and flowers and all the naivedyam and everything we do, and then we come out and behave violently and roughly to the person that we see. That is wrong. Every person, whether it's a household that you have, a husband, wife, children, whoever it is, relations, whoever it is, or friends, whoever it is, everybody, that head that you see in that person, to put it physically, it's actually more than that, is nothing but Bhagavan. He is the one who's got Bahu Shiraha, infinite heads he is carrying around. And everything that you see, has got a head. That is Bhagavan only, Bahu Shiraha. Please remember that it is the truth. And remind yourself. Very important that we must keep on reminding ourselves of this truth. We should not forget. And then when you see that everyone is really Bhagavan, every person I come across, even though I may not like the person may behave badly, he may have bad habits, he is not part of Satsangam, It also says, Durjana, Teja Durjana Samsargam, Bhagavan says that, run away from bad company. Still, I run away in order to protect myself. I should not develop any hatred. I should still see that as one embodiment, one aspect, one form of Bhagavan is looking at me. Okay, keep the company of Bhagavan that way. Babruhu, one who supports all the worlds, the whole universe. There are so many galaxies and all that we think of, not only Earth, but everything in the universe, the whole Prapanjam. The support for all that is Babruhu. In Vaishnava Sampradayam, in Bhattar Bhashyam, they look at it as Adi Sankara. Adi Sankara is the one who is supporting all the universe. So that's figuratively speaking, right? And so the supporter of everything, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, whatever way we want to look at it, intellectually, whatever way you want to look at it, there is a basis of support there. That basis of support is Babruhu. Vissa Yonihi. Now, Yonihi is something that we must never forget. Never forget. And a way to understand and appreciate what is happening. Look at a seed. Okay? You take a seed and you plant it in the ground. After preparing the ground, then you put some water on it, and the seed very soon sprouts into a nice plant, right? The sapling and all that, whatever seed you put in. Now, what is it in that seed that made it grow? We all think the plant actually comes from the seed. Yes. But when you take a seed and break it open, there is really nothing in there. It's actually empty. So what is it that makes a seed grow? What is the basis for all the things that we have, right? And you can try to explain it through chemical reactions and all that to some degree. But then the question should be asked, if one particular atom combines with another, or a molecule combines with another molecule and then gives you a third molecule, and that starts resulting in the shape of a sapling, you can explain it through DNAs and acid molecules and all those things. But then go back beyond that. What is the driving force for one molecule to combine with another molecule? And what is the driving force for not only that combination, but also the driving force for the resultant molecule? That aspect of, you call it energy, you call it force, or whatever name that you want, that entity, that divinity that is present there, that is Yonihi. Okay, that is the Vissa Yonihi. He is the cause for all the Vishwam, all the Prapanjam, the whole universe, the physical and the mental universe, the spiritual universe, the emotional universe, the intellectual universe, whatever universe we think of, he is the cause for it. Okay, that is Yonihi. Suchisravaha. Very important. Very important. If I follow this, I understand the meaning of what Suchisravaha is, and if I follow this in my life, Bhagavan has guaranteed that I immediately get his company. I can see the lotus feet. I can embrace it. The more I follow this particular aspect, the closer I get to him. The more I do it, I can merge with him. This is a beautiful, beautiful word. Suchitsravaha. And I'll share with you both the meanings or the experiences of both Sankara and Bhattar on this, and also share with you how Swami teaches this particular thing. Sankara is generally more intellectual in his explanation and his descriptions and all that. Okay, so he says that when we say Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and we have people in this group, who or Nama Sankirtanam we do, or Hare Rama, so many things we do, right? And Rama, we say, the name is Tarakanamam, we say. These are all nothing but manifestations of acoustic vibrations, isn't it? If I say Rama, there is a certain sound wave that comes out of it. If I say Om, certain sound wave that comes out of it. And all these names that we have for Bhagavan, all the infinite names that we have, they're all extremely, extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Because the acoustic vibrations, the combinations are such that they enter through our ears, and through our ears they enter the mind, and they pacify the mind. They generate something that is extremely beneficial in our mind. Therefore, our thoughts, they actually purify our thoughts. Once our thoughts get purified, life becomes a lot easier, isn't it? What is this aspect, this Mangalam, this auspiciousness of these names, right? And Suchisravaha means this Bhagavan who has got these names that are attributable to him, but also have the purificating power. You understand? That is one meaning that Shankara gives. But it is actually more than that. Much, much, much more than that. The Kesavaya Namaha we say, or Narayana, or Rama, so many things we say. When somebody says, addresses you, and instead of calling you by your name or say hello and all that, somebody says Om Namo Narayanaya. He says Narayana or Krishna or some good name he says, Bhagavan's name. How beautifully you feel. You feel it is so sweet to your ear. You may not know the meaning, but they are so sweet. When somebody recites and utters Bhagavan's name and you hear it, that somebody uttering it, you feel so good. That aspect that is present in that name, that is Suchisravaha, because he gives you the sweetness of the name. But more than that, much, much more than that, is a name, is a meaning that I want to share with you. Suchisravaha. Here, what is good? And here, only good. Simple. And Bhagavad in Mahabharatam, at the end, Shanti Parvatam, Krishna tells Arjuna, Arjuna, among all the words, among all the sounds that one can hear, there are so many types of sound going on. But I choose to hear only the call of the devotees, the sweet call of the devotees. That's the only one I hear. There are so many sounds going on talking about, the deficiencies, what is wrong with this person, what is wrong with that person, criticism, and so many things that people talk about. All those things I do not hear at all. I hear only what is good. I hear good, and I hear only what is good. That filtration, if I can make in whatever I hear, somebody criticizes, somebody praises, the Mukha Stuti is very common among people nowadays. Okay, I don't know why we do it, because we want something in return, but it is not necessary. When you do stuti to Bhagavan, we will not necessarily be praising each other, right? And whatever sound things that falls in my ear, if I develop the skill and the sadhana and wherewithal to filter it and hear only the good and not hear anything that is not good. Good means anything that takes me closer to Bhagavan. That's all. Simple definition. You hear only that and filter out all the others. Then I become a Suchisravaha. Krishna tells Arjuna, because I do this, I'm also called Suchisravaha. Very important. See good, see only what is good. Hear good, hear only what is good. Speak good, speak only what is good. This is a fundamental rule. Vasuvana Sathya Samatma Samnitat Samaha Amogha Pundari Kaksho Vrishakarma Vrishakrutihi Rudro Bahusira Bhabrur Visvayonis Suchisravaha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.